If you're someone who has been just, absolutely hammered by diet fatigue,
Hmm.
that feeling where the plan feels restrictive, maybe a little too complicated, and deep down you know you're probably going to quit by week 4, then this deep dive is, well, it's for you.
We have all been there. I mean, that cycle of starting strong, feeling overwhelmed, and then you end up right back where you started, or worse.
Exactly. And it's usually because the focus is so narrow. It's just on weight loss. It's not on a total sustainable transformation.
Right.
So our mission today is to unpack a really comprehensive 90-day blueprint. This isn't just about dropping pounds. It's about fundamentally reshaping your entire system.
It is. We're going to get into how this plan integrates 3 pillars, 3 non-negotiable pillars.
Targeted nutrition, strategic exercise, and the one that I think is most important, mindset.
And the integration is everything. You can't optimize one without the others. The goal here is pretty ambitious, but it's totally achievable. It's to help you become the most energetic, confident, and, ridiculously healthy version of yourself in just 90 days.
A structural overhaul of your health identity. I like that.
That's what it is.
And the timeline they lay out is so encouraging. It gives you these tangible milestones along the way. You don't have to wait 3 months to feel different.
No, not at all. Weeks 1 and 2, that's your foundation phase.
Okay.
You're just building routines, stabilizing your blood sugar. You start to feel less bloated. You drop that initial water weight.
And then you hit what they call the acceleration phase. That's what, weeks 5 through 8.
Yes, and that's when visible change starts to happen. Your strength is going up, fat loss accelerates, and maybe the biggest psychological boost, people start noticing. They start asking what you're doing differently.
That feedback loop is so powerful.
It's a huge motivator.
And then finally, weeks 9 to 12 is the mastery phase.
This is where it all clicks. Those habits that felt so hard, like prioritizing protein or hitting the gym, they start to feel automatic. You've basically installed a new default operating system for your body.
Okay, I love that. Let's dig into the mechanics then. Starting with how this whole program addresses those classic diet failure points through nutrition.
Right. So the nutritional core here is fascinating. It starts by acknowledging the power of something pretty simple. The behavioral principles of sustainable eating, like calorie control, flexibility.
The things that made something like the original Weight Watchers work for so many people.
Exactly. But then it gets what the source material calls supercharged. Supercharged through modern endocrinology. It's the super diet revolution.
So it's not some radical fad, it's an optimized system. Where does that optimization really happen?
It's in 2 major areas, metabolic optimization and hormonal balance. See, traditional diets, they fail because they drastically cut calories, and that triggers a metabolic slowdown.
The dreaded starvation mode.
That's the one. Your body starts conserving energy, which makes fat loss incredibly difficult.
And this blueprint strategically counters that. How does it do it?
Well, first, by ensuring an adequate caloric intake. There's a metabolic floor, you could say. You don't go below it. And the plan is really rich in specific metabolism-boosting foods and, crucially, high in protein.
Protein has that thermic effect of food, right? It takes more energy just to digest it.
Precisely. That constant high protein intake keeps your metabolic furnace burning hot.
It just shifts the whole perspective. It's not about how much you restrict, but how efficiently you're using the fuel you give your body.
Exactly.
And speaking of efficiency, let's talk hormones. Because they really dictate everything, from fat storage to hunger.
Oh, absolutely essential. For long-term success, you have to get your body's messengers working for you, not against you. The plan focuses on 4 main players. First up is improving insulin sensitivity.
Which stops your body from just being a dedicated fat storage unit.
Right. It stabilizes your blood sugar. Then you have the hunger signals.
This is where my willpower usually just crashes and burns.
I think for most people, that's leptin and ghrelin. Leptin is your satiety hormone. It tells your brain, hey, we're full. Ghrelin is the hunger hormone. It's the one that screams at you.
Right.
This plan manages leptin through nutrient-dense calories and prioritizing sleep tanks your leptin levels. And it tames ghrelin with lots of protein and fiber so you feel physically full for longer. It just mutes those hunger signals.
Okay, what about stress? Everyone says stress causes belly fat. What's the actual mechanism there?
The mechanism is cortisol. High chronic stress elevates cortisol, and that signals your body to store energy, specifically visceral fat, right around the midsection. It's an old survival mechanism.
A preparation for a crisis that never comes.
Exactly. And this blueprint manages cortisol not just with diet, but through the mindset and exercise strategies we'll get into. It's all connected.
There's this high-level concept I find so cool. Metabolic flexibility. The source uses this hybrid car analogy.
It's a great analogy.
So what's the first step someone can take, like tomorrow, to start engaging that fat-burning engine instead of just the sugar-burning one?
The very first step is just disrupting the pattern of constant fueling. Most of us have lost that flexibility because we're always snacking, we're eating high-carb foods, so our body only knows how to burn glucose. It never has to switch over to burning stored fat.
So the program helps restore that switch.
Yes, through strategic meal timing and balanced macros that keep insulin stable.
And for someone just starting out, the sheer volume of material they give you is a huge help. During that foundation phase, when decision fatigue is at its peak, we're talking a 90-day meal plan, 270 meals, all detailed out. You don't have to guess.
That certainty is power in the beginning. And the food choices are very intentional. For your protein powerhouses, for example, the source material specifically calls chicken breast the MVP, the most valuable protein.
And salmon is the omega-3 all-star. Good for inflammation, brain health.
Exactly. And carbs aren't eliminated, they're just optimized. They talk about carbohydrate champions.
Like sweet potatoes and steel-cut oats. The sustained energy heroes.
Right. No blood sugar spikes. And we can't forget the hydration heroes. This goes beyond just water. They emphasize functional beverages. Bone broth for collagen and gut health, certain herbal teas for, say, relaxation to help with that cortisol management.
Okay, so we fuel the machine perfectly for metabolic optimization. Now let's talk about movement. How do we get the best return on investment when we actually move that machine?
Well, the exercise blueprint is designed to amplify your metabolism, not just burn calories during the workout itself. This is where we get into the science of EPR.
Excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. The afterburn effect.
That's it.
I love this because it means your workout doesn't stop when you do. Get the simplified version.
So after strenuous exercise, especially HIIT and heavy strength training, your body is essentially playing catch-up. It needs extra oxygen to get back to its resting state, to repair muscle, restore hormones, and that whole recovery process requires calories. So your metabolism stays elevated, burning extra energy for up to 24 hours after you're done.
And this whole effect is amplified by the idea that muscle is metabolic gold. I mean, that phrase is just so powerful.
The numbers are stark. A pound of muscle burns around 50 calories a day just existing.
While a pound of fat burns, what, 2 or 3?
2 or 3. So investing time in strength training isn't just about looking toned. It's about installing a permanent, passive metabolic amplifier in your body.
So the sources have these phased workout plans, which is obviously critical for preventing injury. What's the exercise look like in that foundation phase, weeks 1 to 4?
The beginner plan is all about establishing consistency and safety. It's about fundamental movement patterns. So think mastering a bodyweight squat before you even touch a dumbbell, or wall push-ups before you go to the floor.
And the schedule is sustainable.
Very. 2 strength days, 2 cardio days, and 3 deliberate rest days. We're building the base of the pyramid.
But it ramps up. The advanced plan in the mastery phase has workouts 6 days a week. How does the plan address the potential for burnout there?
It does, and the answer is really in the integration with the mindset pillar. That advanced phase requires commitment. You're lifting heavier, doing more complex movements, supersets, plyometrics. To prevent burnout, they emphasize non-negotiable rest, active recovery days, and applying those cognitive reframing techniques we'll cover. It helps you view the increased effort as a rewarding investment, not some kind of punishment.
So the body adapts, but only if you're following the core rule for progress, which is the progressive overload principle.
Precisely. Showing up is necessary, but it's not sufficient. You have to intentionally increase the challenge over time.
If you lift the same weight for the same reps every week, your body just stops adapting.
You have to systematically increase the demand. Raise the weight, even by a small 2.5 to 5%. Add more reps or sets. Decrease rest time. Your body must constantly adapt to new stress, or it has no reason to change.
Okay, so we've built the optimized body. Now we have to secure the sustainable mind. The plan argues that mindset matters more than willpower, and that willpower, well, it's a muscle that tires easily. If willpower is going to fail, what's the blueprint's replacement?
It's structure and automation, all rooted in the neuroscience of habit formation. We leverage the brain's natural tendency to form habits through the 3-step habit loop.
The cue, the routine, and the reward.
Exactly.
And the big insight here is you don't fight the cue and you don't fight the reward. You just interrupt and replace the routine.
That's the whole game. So let's say the cue is coming home stressed after work. The reward you're seeking is that dopamine hit of immediate comfort. The old routine might be grabbing the first box of snacks you see.
Right.
The blueprint trains you to recognize that cue, but then swap in a new routine. Maybe it's an immediate 5-minute walk or a brief meditation. That still delivers the stress relief, the reward, but through a healthy action.
Yeah.
You're redirecting the energy, not suppressing it.
Which leads right into the identity-based approach to change.
Yeah.
This is such a powerful psychological shift.
It is. It moves the focus away from a short-term outcome to your long-term self-perception.
So you shift from, I want to lose 30 pounds.
To, I am someone who prioritizes my health.
Mm.
And every small, healthy choice you make, every piece of salmon you choose, every workout you complete, it becomes a vote for the person you want to become.
That's so important during that acceleration phase when motivation might dip. You're not just chasing a number, you're voting for your new identity.
Right. And to make that voting process easier, the sources really emphasize the power of environmental design.
Designing your environment for success. It's about removing the friction between you and the healthy choice.
Exactly. Successful people automate these things. They make the healthy choices obvious. You put the bone broth, the ready-to-eat vegetables right at eye level in the fridge, and you make the unhealthy choices invisible, or at least difficult. You store treats in opaque containers on a high shelf.
So you're not relying on willpower in the moment. You've already won the battle by designing a successful default setting.
The battle was won when you put the groceries away.
But what about those internal voices, the limiting beliefs that inevitably pop up?
That's where cognitive reframing comes in. It's about challenging those disempowering internal stories and replacing them. So instead of thinking, ugh, I hate cardio, you reframe it to, I am building cardiovascular health and longevity every time I run.
Or the big one, investing in healthy food is so expensive.
You reframe that to the powerful narrative. Investing in my health now is the cheapest form of preventative medicine. It saves me money on future medical bills.
And finally, when a setback happens, because they absolutely will, the blueprint emphasizes self-compassion. Why is that more effective than just beating yourself up?
Because self-criticism is demotivating. It leads to the what the heck effect, where one slip makes you abandon the whole plan. Self-compassion lets you acknowledge the slip without judgment, learn from it, and immediately get back on track. It transforms a failure into a data point.
Okay, so we've synthesized the 3 pillars: the metabolic nutrition, the EPOC-driven exercise, and the habit psychology. The transformation really comes from that seamless integration. But even with a perfect plan, progress stalls. What happens when you hit that inevitable wall?
Right, that's why the sources provide the plateau-busting toolkit. When progress stalls, and it often does around weeks 6 to 8, you have 2 key strategies. First is metabolic confusion. Your body is smart, it's adaptive, so you intentionally disrupt its routine.
Change your workout completely.
Yeah, swap HIIT for steady-state cardio for a week, or vary your daily calorie intake, some days higher, some days lower, to prevent that metabolic adaptation.
And the second strategy?
Is the audit approach. This deals with the problem of calorie creep. If you hit a plateau, you track everything, and I mean everything. The hidden calories from tastes, bites, and sips, the splash of cream in your coffee, the sauces. The audit just forces awareness and helps restore that caloric deficit.
And as you move into the mastery phase and beyond, the focus shifts completely to what they call the forever protocol, the maintenance mindset shift.
And the key thing to understand is that maintenance does not mean going back to your old habits. It means continuing the habits that created the success, but just adjusting the energy budget. You now have more muscle, better metabolic function, so you often have a slightly higher caloric allowance. But the core habits must remain.
This is best summed up in the 80-20 lifestyle approach.
It's the framework for sustainability. Aim for 80% alignment with your health goals, and that gives you 20% flexibility. For social situations, holidays, whatever, it prevents that rigid, all-or-nothing thinking.
That 20% is permission to live.
It is. A treat is just part of the plan, not a failure.
So if you've really absorbed these sources, you now possess this comprehensive roadmap: the optimized fuel, the efficient metabolic engine, and the durable psychology for total transformation.
You've built a new identity, and you have the knowledge to maintain it for life.
We've shown you the power of that integration. Optimizing your hormones through diet, leveraging EPOC through exercise, and using habit psychology to automate your success.
You've fundamentally changed your relationship with health.
And we'll leave you with this provocative thought, straight from the source material. The real secret sauce of long-term success is treating your health like the most important investment you will ever make. because without your health, none of the other accomplishments really mean much.
Internalize that perspective. You have the blueprint. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is now. Go put those boats in for your new identity.